You are now tuned into Flippin the Birds, a Philly Sports Network podcast.
What's going on, Eagles fans? Welcome all to episode 79 of Flippin the Birds. I'm Brian Cameron. He's Chris Infante, and today, relax day, I guess you could say. Well, depending on the question, we're going to be hosting a live Q&A for anybody on Twitter, anybody on YouTube. Who's watching live right now. First and foremost, how are you feeling today, man?
I'm feeling fine. It's it's instead of being chaotic before the chaos, we'll just do a nice little calm episode where
it's not going to be calm, most likely.
It's not going to be calm, but it's we're Nick Foles days away from the draft.
We actually are.
So
we're Nick Foles days away from Nick Foles' replacement.
We're Nick Foles days away from finding support for Nick Foles' replacement.
You lost me at the replacement, I think.
The replacements, just a lot of replacements.
I was talking about Kyle Trask. I don't know who you're talking about.
Oh, I'm talking about KJ Costello.
Okay, just want to make sure. Again, guys, if you're joining us live right now, make sure you drop anything in the chat, even if it's a what's up or any questions you guys have. We'll be talking about everything and anything Eagles, and maybe even outside of Eagles, knowing how spicy Chris ends up getting on Tuesday nights. You
don't get that spicy.
You get pretty spicy on Tuesday. But before we get to anything,
I mean that's how my wife is pregnant.
That should have been, it should have been edited out. But this is live, so we can't edit out.
Taco Tuesdays.
Oh wow. Okay, we're going that far. Anyways, guys, so next week we're going to have a double pod. We'll have a regular Tuesday pod, which will be joined by Liam Jenkins, and we'll be announcing the winner of our PSN mock draft mania, or is it mock madness?
Yeah, it's going to be me.
It's not going to be you.
It's going to be me.
The people have spoken already. You've already been outed. Listen, done. Do you want to talk about this now?
I think these polls, like last week with
we had two polls and you lost both of them.
The last time with ours, and then the one in the stupid Discord chat. I'm sorry if you're in the Discord.
Wow, you're gonna disrespect the Discord.
But listen, here's the deal.
Okay.
The one in the Discord, they're all best friends with Steve. So
that is very true.
Of course, they're gonna vote for Steve. Like they're all buddy with them. So that
but you gotta love Steve. I love Steve. He's the GOAT.
I love Steve. But you can't do that poll without putting in some bias in there. Like, it's obviously biased.
What Liam should do is randomize the names. Like, he shouldn't even put our label in the mock drafts.
I mean, you would have known it was mine because I have a certain writing style that everybody would have known.
Very true.
So.
But anyways, we will be announcing that next Tuesday, and then Thursday night for the NFL draft's first round, we'll be hosting a live Flippin the Birds special, which we will then again be joined by Liam Jenkins. Yeah, that was a little bit of tongue twister because I had a little itch in my nose. I got to sneeze, and I don't want to sneeze right now.
It takes us forever to get Liam to even text us back.
It does. I texted him on Friday. He texted me Monday.
But he's going to come on a pod 2 times in a row.
2 times.
In 1 week.
I may have sold my soul for this.
That's incredible. Liam, wow, staying up late for us.
2 times in a row. And we'll be announcing the Eagles' first round pick on live reactions and everything, like last year.
When they pick at 1.
All right. Before we take any questions,
so they're sending 12. They're sending their second round pick. They're sending their third round pick. They're sending next year's 3 firsts, and then they're sending 2023 and 2024.
What are the odds that the Eagles end up trading up into the top 5? Let's do it. Top 5. Let's start with top 5. Zero odds.
Zero.
So there's no odds of them jumping into the top 5.
Not even a minuscule chance. No, because the price that you're gonna have to pay. Look at what the 49ers did to go to 3. So 3 is obviously out of the question. You're talking about 1, 2, and 3 is gone because the
So we're
Jets
talking
are
about
going,
4 and 5.
Yeah, because the Jets are taking Zach Wilson. You didn't trade Sam Darnold away just to trade back. Trevor Lawrence has donations going on in Jacksonville right now. Like he has charities, so that's a lock. Zach Wilson's a lock. The Niners didn't mortgage their future to go up to 3 just to trade back. Obviously, 4 and 5 are the sweet spots there. I just think Atlanta is going to draft Pitts. I think they have to. I think if they're not blown away with a Washington RG3 trade offer, they're staying there and they're drafting Pitts. And then you look at the Bengals. I don't think they're trading now. So
do you think the Bengals are completely sold on Jamar Chase being reunited with Joe Burrow? Like, is it like hell-bent, like I would not move from number 5 because Jamar Chase is the chosen one?
If they love their franchise quarterback, there's 2 ways to think about it. Because if they love their franchise quarterback, they'll draft Sewell and protect their franchise quarterback.
That's the ideal way of thinking of it.
But if they also love their franchise quarterback, they will take his opinion and go. And Burrow's been like, let's get Jamar Chase.
Yeah, but I mean, you could get a wide receiver like late in the first round.
You can, but at the same time, Joe Burrow just threw 60 touchdowns, and 20 of them went to Jamar Chase. So,
but they're not going to go to Jamar Chase if he's busy being sacked.
You can get a tackle later on. Okay.
All right. So, what are the odds the Eagles trade into 6 through 10?
6 no. 6 no.
Yeah. Even though Liam,
I know, and Liam got destroyed for it, rightfully so.
He definitely did.
Rightfully so.
I feel like that's a mock draft that you would have done with the trading to 6, like just for the irony of it.
No. Wait till my next one. Just wait till my next one. It's fun.
Apparently mine actually drops tomorrow, so
mine is fun. Mine's fun. Everybody else might not think it's fun, but it's fun. 7.
Who's 7? It's Detroit, right?
Hold on a minute. Let's do this.
What does Detroit actually need that they cannot get past 7?
They need a tackle. They need a wide receiver. They don't have Galladay anymore. They don't have Marvin Jones anymore.
Okay, so if Sewell drops to 7, which most likely looks like it will actually happen, then just do what you're doing, and then we'll talk past 7.
Where is? Well, there it goes. Okay.
By the way, I think you'll be very proud of me because I have a new first-round draft class.
Congratulations.
Oh wow! You're not going to ask me like who it is or why.
Because I don't care. Because I know you're gonna say it anyway.
Who?
I don't know. Who cares? Anyways, so
that is
hello.
rude on so many levels of life.
Share my screen.
No, absolutely not. You're not sharing my thoughts.
I don't need to share your thoughts.
Wow.
Okay, so here is okay. My computer is going very slow right now.
And it looks like Pornhub is actually opening it up right now.
It is. All right, so you look in here. So here's the draft. So Jason from Over the Cap tweeted out a little while ago, maybe an hour or two ago, that Rich Hill's trade value chart is probably the best to look at when you're evaluating trades for picks. So you're looking at number 7 at Detroit, and that's 426. Here are the Eagles down at 347. Eagles 37 is 162. Add
so
that
for the folks out there that don't really understand it, you have to equal the value or greater of 426.
Most likely you're going to have to greater by a lot.
Okay.
So if you're packaging 12 and 37, get this ad out of my face. If you're packaging 12 and 37, you're getting around 509 points. Quick math for you.
Okay.
And then that's obviously more than Detroit, that 426. If I were the Eagles, I'd be like, no, I'm not sending my second-round pick. Then you look at the third, number 70 is 70. So 347 plus 70 is 417. That's a little less than Detroit. Maybe if you send 12, 70, and 123 in the 4th round.
Could we include a certain tight end?
To Detroit, no, because they have T.J. Hawkinson.
I mean, 12 personnel.
They're both the same person. There's both the same tight end that don't know how to block. But Hawkinson's a yard after catcher better. So you're looking at Carolina now next. Detroit, like, they could go corner. They can go Waddle there too. So give Goff a new weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Smith, if Chase falls there, they can go Chase. They can go a lot of ways. You're looking at Carolina, who can definitely trade down after Schefter's.
They could benefit from Zach Ertz.
Yeah, they can benefit from Zach Ertz, absolutely. Carolina definitely could trade down. You can see that 12 and 70 go up there, or 12 and 84, maybe send them Zach Ertz. And I've said this plenty of times. I think that will work. I think that will give them a really dangerous trio of Darnold, CMC, and Ertz, plus the wide receivers of
Robbie Anderson,
DJ Moore, the other Moore that came over, David Moore.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good.
Okay.
And you need an offense in that division where you have the Bucks, where you have Atlanta, who might have Pitts, and where you have New Orleans, who still has Jameis Winston.
So if Eagles do move up to 8, let's say we have Kyle Pitts going to probably Atlanta, which means either Trey Lance or Justin Fields are still on the board. Patrick Surtain is most likely on the board still. Devontae Smith, and Jalen Waddle. You've convinced me. You've haunted me for the past 2 weeks with the theory that the Eagles need to go cornerback early on, and I'm 1,000% behind it now. I truly believe if the Eagles do trade up, you trade up and you draft Patrick Surtain. I'm sorry. I was uncertain about it, okay? I was uncertain about it, right?
You tried too hard, man.
No, whatever. But I'm of the mindset that you draft Surtain.
I think no. If you're trading up, I think you're going for Pitt. You're going for an offensive weapon there.
Pitts is already off. He's off the board at 4.
I know he's off the board, but if you're trading up, it's because Jamar Chase fell or Kyle Pitts fell. You are not trading up for a corner. There's no.
But the drop off on corner is actually pretty significant after the second round.
I think there are only 2 players outside of quarterback worth trading up for, and it's Kyle Pitts, who's I know this term gets thrown around so much, generational tight end, who is not really a tight end. He's everything. He's absolutely everything. Or Jamar Chase, who is best wide receiver in the draft, hands down.
He's not getting past Burrow. Like,
who knows? Like the draft is such a crapshoot. like it's so like you may think picks 1 through 5 may go one way, and then one thing happens, and they're like, "Oh my god, we didn't see that happening." So I just think there's no way. Like, you're not trading up for Smith, you're not trading up for Waddle, you're not trading for those guys, because those guys, after those 2 are picked, I think everybody else in that is in that top tier of players. Like if you stay put, you are going to get one of those players that can come in immediately and help out.
But I think they
won't completely change the team.
It's your fault. This is all your fault.
No, that's fine. I think they go quarterback at 12, but I don't think
the offensive weapons of Dallas, and then the offensive, the Redskins that's rising up, and the offensive the Giants that's going to get to a point where they're all healthy.
I know, but I don't think they need to trade up for a good cornerback. I think Horn will be there at 12.
You really think so?
Yes.
What if the Panthers select Surtain at 8 and Cowboys go Horn at 10?
Well, then I'm going to get drunk. I think you could trade down again, which I think trading down would probably set all of Philadelphia on fire if they trade down again. Yes, I know 2022 picks are so valuable because of how much scouting you'll be able to actually do in 2022 and this college season.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have so much more tape. You're gonna have so much more film. You're gonna have so much more just legit analysis on these players in 2022 that these picks in 2022 are so valuable. So having 3 most likely first-round picks next year is awesome. So kudos to Howie for that. But
is Howie here next year to make the draft? To even draft?
he has a lifetime contract.
Apparently so.
So, it's just I just think if they trade down, they're probably going to get more, obviously another pick for next year. And then there's a lot of ammo to send a certain place out west in case Jalen Hurts doesn't pass the test this year.
Okay, so let's talk about the touchy subject now. Deshaun Watson's case is still it's still flourishing, I guess you could say, blossoming at this point. Russell Wilson is of age, probably 32? He'll be 33?
I think he's 33.
He's 33 right now?
I think so.
Watson is 25. If you're the Eagles, do you still make the move for Deshaun, even with...
No.
You're just off the table for you?
No. Right now, well, everything's going on, and I'm not going to.
Not while everything's going on. Like, say everything dumbs down. Like, no matter what, people are always going to think he's decent from here on out.
There's nothing. I don't think there's. I think that with how deep things are right now, things are going to come out one way or the other. He is 100% guilty, or he's 100% innocent. There's going to be no, because there's so much shit right now with the 20 of the 22 accusers about to come out and all that stuff. And his legal team coming out with their own. It's either going to come out that these accusers are fake, or Watson's a complete dickbag. So I don't think there's going to be any in between. I don't think it's going to be like, oh, they reached a settlement, blah blah blah. Deshaun Watson's off. I think if they reach a settlement, I think even he still gets probably suspended. But there's
no evidence against him. You think they'll still suspend him?
Look at what happened with Ezekiel Elliott a few years ago, right? There no evidence on him. He still got suspended. It's just behavior. I think it's just behavior and detrimental conduct to the league. I think that will probably have to send a message, like, quote unquote, have to send a message, and he's going to get suspended. And
so
I just
make a move for Wilson then, for a 30 at that time 34-year-old quarterback. When you have Jalen Hurts, who's still he's not going to reach his ceiling for the next 2 or 3 years.
Well, it depends. If you don't see any progress in year 2, then you did in the first 4 games a few months ago, then you can say you can move on. Like it's it. Like Sirianni can have 1 full year with him, 1 full offseason, 1 full year. Say, yeah, he's not it, and say, okay, time to move on. Let's see what our options are. Do we trade up? Or do we draft a quarterback in the first round if we are in that area? Is Sam Howell, the UNC quarterback, going to be the pick next year? Or do they package those up for a quarterback? And who knows will be on the table next year? I mean, you got Russell Wilson on the table. Obviously, you have Deshaun Watson if everything comes out clean. Who knows if another quarterback will, out of nowhere, be available? I think one name to maybe keep an eye on in Green Bay is Aaron Rodgers.
But who's older than Russell?
I understand that, but he's still Aaron Rodgers. I think I just think that looking outside of those two, if you're looking at a quarterback that could take your team to the next level, and there are already how many rumors were there from the end of the playoffs until seemingly never of Aaron Rodgers being unhappy in Green Bay being unhappy with him.
He doesn't know where
he came out and said he's like, whatever the Green Bay wants to do, Green Bay wants to do. So if Green Bay feels like, you know what, it's time to cut ties, it's time to trade Aaron Rodgers, it's time to go towards Jordan Love. What if Philly is like, okay, Jalen Hurts is not the guy. Here's a couple firsts for Aaron freaking Rodgers.
All right, so, but what if Jalen is the guy, but he's not an Aaron Rodgers? What if he's not a Carson Wentz? What if he's more of a Dak Prescott? Do you give up on, Dak he's productive. But he does have the arsenal around him. Like, do you just, think of Dak and, hey, like, let's do this concept. Let's actually build on Jalen next year. We saw, a little progression. We saw a little regression here and there, but it's something that we can win with.
Outside of Dallas and maybe a few other teams, we're obviously in a what have you done for me lately league.
Okay.
Dak putting up numbers every year to do what? I mean, obviously, it means more than the quarterback. Their defense fucking sucks. Their defense
The head
absolutely
coach
sucks.
also sucks.
Their defense, everything that they've had the last few years sucks. So
everything in that stadium pretty much sucks.
Yeah,
From the GM,
that's right.
So
So you're looking at that as a whole. If we get honest, I mean, as Eagles fans, as much as we want to hate to admit it, if Jalen Hurts even comes close to Dak Prescott's production, we have to be happy.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely. But we need
why would you turn your back on that? Like, what if that is the ceiling?
But at the same time, how many wins has that come out to? Like, it's just you got to balance both because I know I just
how many playoff appearances does the Cowboys have with Prescott so far?
I think
just
two.
one.
I think
two.
two. I think two. And one win. And then you have. I mean, if it's hard because you want a quarterback who can carry a team. And if Jalen Hurts can't carry a team and you have to really rely upon what's going on around him, do you really trust Howie Roseman to build a team around him to help an average quarterback bring a team?
Pretty much we're damned if we do, damned if we don't because of what we have.
I think we're in purgatory. I really think we're in purgatory. I just don't think there's much worse we can do. But I also don't think we're much better. Like it's I don't know.
You know what pisses me off is that these guys that have all this money no, you don't really piss me off. You aggravate me. It's a difference. But these guys that have billions of dollars, they buy these sports teams and they treat them like they're little Hot Wheels, and they don't know how to take care of these.
My Hot Wheels were good.
Yeah, but you understand the value of your Hot Wheels, do you not? These guys, they don't understand the value of their teams. Jeffrey Lurie thinks he's out here playing Madden, and has Howie Roseman as his remote control. That's really what it is, and it just aggravates me that
if Howie Roseman was a remote control, what remote control is he done?
He'll be the Atari one with the little joystick, just like that. Yeah, there's nothing good about it at all. He's not a PlayStation 5 remote because the PlayStation 5 remote is pretty phenomenal.
I was thinking maybe the original Nintendo ones because it's just
the flat ones.
He just moves back and forth. And there's only two buttons he could press. It's
I like playing Duck Hunt with Howie Roseman.
He either goes up and down, left or right, and he just presses A, trade everybody, or B, sign bad players.
That's pretty much how it is with Howie, and it's frustrating as a fan, I guess we could say media analyst, like to see, like it sucks to see this. Like I've gone through I'm 30 years old, so 3 decades worth.
You're 32.
No, I'm talking about decades wise. I am 32. Shut up. I've gone through 3 decades worth of the New York Mets, and I've seen what bad ownership can do to a team. Now that we have this new owner, I'm seeing what a good owner can do for a team. I'm just frustrated. Leave me alone. I think I finished my whiskey.
You know what is frustrating?
Very.
When your loved one takes off the pants and gets hit in the face with with the big lawn in the face. So how about you go to manscaped.com and take care of that problem that you got going down there by buying a nice little lawnmower 3.0. Lawnmower 3.0 is Manscaped's premier. Not even Manscaped's premier. It's the entire men's grooming industry's premier grooming brother. Get down there and it gets nice and smooth like a baby's bottom. And then your loved one, whoever that is, or whatever that is, will be really, really excited. Not just for draft day, but for their new franchise quarterback they could finally see clean in the pocket. So go to manscaped.com, use FTB for 20% off and free shipping.
There we go. So manscaped.com, guys. All right, so Eagles are on the clock at 12. So you said the likelihood of them trading up between 6 and 10 wouldn't make sense unless it's for an offensive weapon, such as Jamar Chase and Kyle Pitts. So if we stay put at 12, most likely the available players will be Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, and J.C. Horn. And probably Micah Parsons, so you could throw him in there just for the hell of it. And a couple of defensive linemen just for the hell of it. This is a true pivotal point for the Eagles in franchise history right now. You traded away your franchise quarterback for peanuts. You drafted a backup quarterback in the second round last year that you guys didn't even really do your research on because the scouts were even surprised about it, apparently. Now you got to make the move. Who are you taking? I mean, I'm of the mindset if Horn is there, yes, take Horn, but I'm stuck between Waddle and Smith too. Like you need that weapon.
It's Horn for me. Or
Okay.
Surtain goes down. It's Surtain. It's one of those two. I just think there's way too many wide receivers later in the draft that can make up for the not picking a wide receiver at 12. Then there are corners later on in the draft that can make up for passing on a corner at 12.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have receivers that can really play the X position later in the draft that you need. My thing with Waddle is electric as he is, and no one at home miscue my words.
I think I agree with the point
say.
you're about to make. So,
Like, Waddle's a Y. Rager's a Y. And we talked with Jordan Reid about this last week. You put two Ys on the field together that are really just like movement guys, that are really just yards after the catch guys, and not those.
There's a dominating receiver.
Yeah, not those one-on-one winning receivers. It's kind of redundant.
Mm-hmm.
So do you take Smith, who is a little heavier than my high school seniors on my track team, or do you take a CB1?
Does the weight really matter with Smith? I mean, he's shown that he can overachieve with it.
People are downplaying it. People are saying I need to see it in the NFL before I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm wrong.
How much does the average cornerback weigh?
200, 220.
Oh, damn, really?
I think I looked it up. I think when I was doing, it was like a few months ago, maybe a month or two ago, or I was saying the pros and cons of drafting each player. And Devontae Smith, I think he's facing 7 corners next year who are his height, but like 30 pounds heavier. And they're like elite. Well, maybe they're not playing next year, but like right now you're looking at Marlon Humphrey, you're looking at Jalen Ramsey, just two of the names that they're 6'1", like 220.
We play the Ravens next year or no?
No, I'm not. No, I'm just saying that. So can he sustain? Can he get off those routes? Can he beat those guys that are going to bump you right at the line?
But isn't it so much of an advantage to be lighter than these guys? Think about it. Like he's great.
There's lighter, there's lighter, but then there's stick lighter, and he's a stick.
I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like the kid has a pretty good release. Like he's nasty at the line of scrimmage.
Lighter, but so are these NFL veteran defensive backs who have been in the league for years and have practiced against the likes of Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, those guys who are dominating receivers, Devontae Adams, dominating receivers, maybe even on their own team. Like Jair Alexander just going up against Devontae Adams every day in practice.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think he's going to know how to guard Devontae Smith? Like these guys, I just need to see, like, there's just, we talk about history and look at history, look at the precedents of this pick and this area and this and this and that. We need to look at history about Devontae Smith and see that a person of his size, 6'1", between 6'1", between 170 180, almost no one has had success in the NFL. No one. He'd be the first wide receiver ever at that weight. And I know Chad Ochocinco came out like that was my playing weight. He was never listed like that at the combine. He was listed, I think, at 190, and he said he played at 170. But no one of the measured weight has ever had success in the NFL. And I get it. For most athletes at 170 are cut. Most athletes, because they got no fat on them, so like they're gonna be cut. They're gonna be muscular.
He's 170. He's this lean. We've seen in the collegiate level where he's at the line of scrimmage, his release is pretty damn good, and he knows how to get separation.
It is.
I would think that's an advantage. That's disadvantage to him going into the NFL, where these heavier guys have to find a way to keep up with him. Yes, they do got to bump and grind him, but take it back to playground days. Like, if you can't catch me, you can't catch me. I'm not saying he's Tyreek Hill. I'm saying like
you don't think these DBs have faced wide receivers with good releases?
Obviously, yes, I know that, but I'm trying to give advantage to Devontae Smith right now. Like there has to be an advantage to his game. There's a reason he was the most dominating receiver in the past 2 seasons.
I just think there's way too many DBs who are as fast, if not faster than him, and are more muscular and stronger than him. I just don't. I may be wrong. I might be wrong, but I just don't. I don't want the Eagles to take that risk on a guy that small.
I don't know.
When you can go later on in the draft, you have De'Ami Brown. You have guys like De'Ami Brown, Tylan Wallace.
Listen, if you draft a corner at 12, I expect the Eagles to trade back in the first round and draft Rashad Bateman.
You have Terrace Marshall, you have Rashad Bateman, you have those guys who are just as tall, a little heavier, and maybe just as fast as Devontae Smith, if not faster. And they can play X.
Okay.
But later on in the draft with corner, you're going Horn. If you miss Horn, not maybe if you miss Horn because he got picked, or he's probably going to go a pick later to you're probably going to go a pick later to the Chargers. But if you miss out on Horn, Newsom's probably going in the late teens, maybe 20 to the Bears or 21 to the Colts.
At that point, you go wide receiver and you get a cornerback in the second round, like Asante Samuel.
But Asante Samuel's a slot. He can play outside, I guess, a little bit, but you need that. You need that
Eric
guy.
Stokes?
Eric Stokes, but he's not like maybe.
Don't put your hand down, okay? Put your hand down.
Like it's just, and I get like people want like Eagles has landed, like it's just okay. I get it. It's SEC, great. I know, I understand that point, but a lot of other receivers have played in the SEC too and have dominated SEC competition, not to the level of Smith, but have flamed out in the NFL. Like it's just because at the SEC, as great as they are, they are still not NFL competition. You don't face NFL competition until you go into the NFL. Okay. I do not believe in college players. Like whenever there's that can Alabama beat the 0-16 Jaguars or 0-16 Lions? Can Ohio State do this and do that against the worst team in the NFL? No, they can't. Because there are a bunch of 18 to 21-year-olds who are facing off against 22 to 30-something-year-olds. It's not going to happen. The human body is not made that way. So it's just, I really like Smith as a player, mm-hmm. and what he did in the NFL in the college. I just don't see it happening against bigger, stronger, faster corners. If this was the 90s and the corners were smaller, mm-hmm. maybe. But now these guys, there's so much different training now and so much different things these guys can do nowadays.
Question. So before we move on, would you be disappointed if the Eagles do draft Devontae Smith? We have 2 questions in the chat. So real quick, would you be disappointed?
No, I'd get over it.
Okay. I can't stand you.
After my pain that I endured last year when Jalen Hurts was drafted.
I think me and you were like hibernated like a couple of days after that.
I don't think I can be disappointed any longer. I really just don't think. I just think I'm going to see a pick on the screen and be like, huh, that's the pick.
Brace yourselves. All right, so first question goes to Reid Scott. Do you think our Birds would jump in this draft to have 2 first rounds this year? I'm assuming what he meant.
Oh yeah, I think it's a good chance. I think it's more than 50%.
I think they do trade back into the first, and they take either Rashad Bateman or Terrace Marshall at the end of the
I think we do see a scenario where the Eagles got that extra 3rd round pick with the Colts, mm-hmm. and I think they use it. I think they send 37 and one of those picks to move up. There's no either in a trade up from 12 into the top 10 or a trade up from 37 back into the first round. I do not see the Eagles picking all 11 picks this year.
No, absolutely not. They have ammo for a reason. Our second question goes to Gotti. Y'all think we trade into the top 10 or stay at 12, which we did cover in the beginning of the podcast, but just in case you did miss it, I asked Chris what he feels the odds are. I mean, top 5 out of the question, not happening. 6 through 10, it's a possibility if one or two of these offensive playmakers fall between the picks of 7 and 9. So you're looking at Jamar Chase or Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
I personally would not mind trading into the top 10 to draft Surtain. And I'll stick by that right now.
No.
You're really against trading into the top 10 for a cornerback?
Yes.
What if J.C. Horn is not there?
Then he's not there. Then you deal with it. I don't think trading up for a cornerback is a good process. No. I don't remember ever there being a team that traded into the top 10 for a corner.
But cornerbacks have been taken in the top 10.
I know corners have been taken in the top 10, but I don't think any corner has ever made a team like, oh, we got to trade future assets to get this corner.
There has to be one big trade at some point.
I don't remember. I mean, I may be forgetting, but I really don't think so, because that's just such a position where if a great talent falls to you, great, pick them. But I don't think there's ever that one guy at corner that you're like.
It's the Philadelphia Eagles who have not had a perennial cornerback since Sante.
But really, is that going to change anything? Like, is it?
It will change. It will help.
So if the price to go to 7 or 8 for a particular team,
it depends on the pricing. I'm not saying trade
this year's first. Is this year's first a 3rd round pick, and next year's 2nd or 3rd, you're going to move up for just a.
If it's next year's 3rd, sure. You wouldn't trade 2 thirds and a first for. No.
For a wide receiver who can. It's an offensive league for a wide receiver who can absolutely dominate.
Yeah,
and just
it's an offensive league, and you need a defense to stop it. See, you spent 2 weeks convincing me that the Eagles should be drafting cornerbacks.
Yeah, by staying there, at 12. But if you're trading up, I think you need a playmaker, and a corner is not a playmaker. A corner is a play stopper.
They can be playmakers too. I mean, that's the whole point of fumbles and interceptions. Marlon Humphrey is a playmaker.
Okay, when was the last time the Eagles had a corner that was a playmaker?
Never, and that's the issue.
No. What I'm saying is, so are Patrick Surtain or J.C. Horn playmakers? No, I think they're more play stoppers. They're not playmakers, because that's so rare. There's so far and few between. I would really just like trading up. You're trading up for immediate impact, and I think immediate impact is a wide receiver or a quarterback. I mean, I'm not saying trade for a quarterback, but one of those 2 positions, that's what you're trading up for. If you're trading for a corner, teams can go around that and just not target that corner, which is great. They're not targeting that corner, but they can still dominate in other ways. I just don't think trading up for a corner is that great.
Okay, I hear you. All right. Okay. So then trade into the first round. You draft defense at 12 if Horn is available, or Surtain. But if you go wide out, do you stay at 37 in the second round? Because you could still get Caleb Farley in the first round.
I mean, if you're taking Horn at 12,
I'm saying Horn, Surtain are off the board. You're
at 12. If Farley drops, I don't think Farley's going to drop too much. I don't think he's a first round player. I think he's a top 20, the top like 25 player. I don't. It's crazy because with Farley, he's in a special case. Do you weigh the risk of taking a top flight corner and hope he's healthy, a la Sidney Jones, who never became healthy again?
What he tore his Achilles in
he tore his Achilles. Sidney Jones was a consensus top 10 pick, and he tore his Achilles and he dropped to the second round. So the Eagles decided to draft him for kind of a redshirt year. I know he played in that last game, but Farley's like, do you learn from that Sidney Jones mistake and say, "No, I'm not doing Farley," or do you look at DK Metcalf, who teams stayed away from because of his medicals, and now look at him?
But Farley's situation is different. Farley's situation was a quick fix me up in his back. He got the surgery. He said he's me good to go. Sidney Jones tore his Achilles, and I think that's. I mean, for a cornerback, you need that to function more than anything else in your body. So he may have lost. He may have just completely lost confidence. It didn't help that the Eagles won the Super Bowl in his second year, or was it first year?
Sidney Jones was drafted in 2017. No, 18. Right?
It was no, because we won a 17. He was part of the Super Bowl team. He played in the last final games.
I know he played against that. He was in that Dallas game. So yeah, 2017. Yeah.
Okay. So in my opinion, it didn't help that they won the Super Bowl, and there was expectations after that. It didn't help him and Rizzo to be in this scheme that they were in. But Caleb Farley coming into a scheme where Jonathan Gannon is known for actually, maximizing the abilities off his players, I think would be a huge advantage.
I don't know.
Are you doing a mock draft right now?
No, I'm not. I'm answering an email.
You're what? I'm
answering an email.
You're answering an email.
I am.
Guess that. So for everybody in the chat, if you have any questions, let us know. We'll answer it live right now while Chris answers his emails.
So
but while you're doing that, can you tell everybody what are you drinking tonight? Actually, I haven't seen you take a sip of anything.
I've been drinking. Like, are you kidding? So halfway done.
I didn't see you take a sip of anything.
Maybe pay attention more. I'm
paying clear attention to the screen.
I'm having to deal with your nonsense. I'm having a triple IPA.
Wow.
10% by alcohol. Brewed with cocoa nibs, white chocolate, peach, and lactose sugar.
I can't do the lactose no more.
After how many pictures have you sent? Dude, look at this with the eyes emojis. Lactose.
It was really good, but I had one night where just the pains were terrible. It was really bad.
Maybe become a man and you can do it.
Oh, shut up. I'm having whiskey to deal with your ass tonight. How about that?
Well, you can get this kind of beer and more at Tavour, TAVOUR. Use our promo code FTB10 at checkout. Get $10 off $25 or more purchase. It's just a great beer company. And also, La Touraine, our other sponsor for watches, fantastic watches, LA-TOURINE.com, FTB10 for 10% off. They're coming out with sunglasses. Watch out for this, guys. Sunglasses.
That might be a hit. I could definitely do sunglasses.
And there might be like PSN like color. Ooh, it's gonna be. Ooh. We've been talking at like certain colors for just PSN. Like, ooh, it's coming out nice. And you're not a part of that talk.
Apparently not, because I just learned about it right now. So thanks for letting me know that I'm not a part of the live.
I'm a part of that talk. I'm a part of that talk. Liam is a part of that talk, and Zach's a part of that talk. So
I'm not into watches, so of course I'm not a part of that talk. It's fine.
I'm just letting you know.
It's perfectly fine with me. I don't feel left out. I'm not the type. I'm not
sunglasses.
Validation.
I might be able to design my own pair of sunglasses.
Yeah,
and that's gonna be fucking wild.
It should be two ass cheeks on each side.
But I did tell them.
It's you.
But I did tell them you're gonna have to send me some free ones to do because my head is big. So you're gonna have to like let me size it out for you. I'll be that's fine. But yeah. But now to answer this question.
Yes. Here's a question: should the Eagles go all defense in this draft? Because Chris was not going to read the question; he was just going to answer the question.
People can read.
Yes, but not the people that listen to the podcast tomorrow on audio. Didn't know if you knew that.
Whatever, listeners.
You see why I drink with you?
I wouldn't be opposed to it. Actually, no, not all defense.
You can't go all defense. You know
that. Because I want to draft a running back. Maybe 2 running backs. Just a little preview for my mock draft.
Mockery it is, yes. Mockery it is.
But if you're looking at the draft, I'm a big fan of going back-to-back corner. Big fan. Linebacker in the 3rd round, maybe a Chaz Surratt. Defensive line in the 4th, or maybe
would you wait? What time out? Would you pick Chad over Moses?
Maybe. Depends on Moses' medicals. You got 2 picks in the 3rd round, so maybe you go linebacker, defensive line there. Milton Williams, maybe. If you don't know who Milton Williams is.
Are you just giving us a preview of your draft?
Get familiar with him. He's very, very good.
You're giving us a preview of your draft. You know this collusion.
You can go edge rusher later on in 4th, 5th round.
Is there a mute button for you?
You can get safety. You can really, really go defense heavy this draft and be really good.
Yes, but they're lacking a lot on offense. You need a lot, you need somebody from the offensive line. You need a wide receiver.
No.
You need a wide receiver.
Pause.
Don't you pause. You can't pause me.
There's a difference on this team. On one side of the ball, on defense, you have a ton of aging veterans. Okay. Aging. You have Brandon Graham, who's 33. You have Fletcher Cox, who's 31, 32. I said Fletcher Cox. I said Fletcher Cox.
You really just said Fletcher Cox.
Well, Fletcher Cox too. So you got Fletcher Cox, who's like 31 or 32. You have Darius Slay, who just turned 30, I think, or 31. You have Roddy McLeod coming off of ACL surgery, who's also.
I don't think Roddy's going to make an impact on the team this year.
So you have so many aging veterans on that defensive side. Where on the offensive side, you have 2 guys. You have Lane Johnson. You have Jason Kelce. You need Jason Kelce's replacement.
You also have Brandon Brooks,
who's 29.
Who's coming off 2 back-to-back injury seasons.
He's not in his 30s. You have Jason Kelce, who you might have a replacement already there in Isaac Seumalo, maybe even Jack Driscoll, who was taking center drills before he got drafted. That offensive line is not as bad as people think. If we keep Andre Dillard, you have a left tackle. You have Jordan Mailata, who can play left and right. You have Jack Driscoll, who showed promise. You have Isaac Seumalo, who, when healthy, is one of the better guards in the league, no matter how many people want to say he's not. Nate Herbig showed flashes last year, too. You have depth on that line. Wide receiver, they're all young. Alshon Jeffrey's not there anymore. Deshaun Jackson's not there anymore.
He has not signed with anybody.
So no one wants his ass. He hasn't, because Josina told him to just chill out for a little bit. You have so much youth at that wide receiver and that running back position where a new system comes in, you could see what you have on that offense before you say, yeah, you guys suck. I know people are so ready to give up on Rager, to give up on Hightower, give up on Watkins, and just we need a whole new wide receiver core. You really don't know what you have there because Doug and Morenweg and Scangarello and Press Taylor and all of the fucking guys that you had on offense last year calling the offensive plays were like, hey, we don't know what to do. And Greg Moore.
Whose fault is that?
Howie. But at the same time,
whose fault is that?
It's a lot
it's not Howie's.
It's Howie's. Carson Wentz is Doug's. So.
No, it's Lurie's fault. Can we just clarify that?
Him too. But so do you really need to say, hey, yeah, these guys suck?
What? Brian and Chris, especially you, Chris, because you kept talking. That sounds like you. And Never kept saying just one more thing, but I super chatted you 3 times on the last live. You had the other dude, and you didn't respond to any. So what are you talking about? Like, what do we not respond to that you want us to respond to now? I mean, because you definitely got our attention right now. You made Chris stop talking, so that's how you know you definitely got our attention. So if you can, ask away right now and let us know what's going on, so we can reconcile this situation. Yo, you're puzzled. I love it. Can somebody screenshot this and like DM me on my Twitter, please? Anybody?
Okay.
I'm assuming he means okay, like he's gonna ask a question now. Or okay, maybe screenshot it and send it to me.
I'm gonna sit back and wait.
All right, Joe. So we stopped the podcast because we are gonna answer your question right now. But I just need to know that you're typing something because I can't see the little bubbles like an iPhone. Anyway, I'm having peanut butter whiskey tonight, just so you know. It's still it's freaking amazing. Ew. Okay, he's writing. What do you mean? Ew, it's really good.
It's disgusting.
It is not disgusting. You probably had it one too many times and just
I had it once, and that was one too many times.
No, you said, you know what? You had it on a podcast, and I'm gonna pull up that podcast. Okay, so real quick while Joseph writing. So Jay
Before Joe-
is you for wide receiver, but no blue
But
chip player.
we don't know that. We really
Travis
don't
Fulgham
know
showed potential of being that blue chip player, but
for like
like
4 or 5 weeks of the season, Travis Fulgham was the best wide receiver in the league.
Mm-hmm. And that was no coincidence.
Jalen Rager is a yards after catch monster, but he wasn't used correctly. It was Greg Ward on screens.
As
It
well
was
as
Greg
Quez
Ward.
Watkins.
It was Greg Ward on the rounds. Quez Watkins is also. We finally saw Quez Watkins with Jalen Hurts. We didn't see Quez Watkins all year.
I feel like the only suspect wide receiver that you really have questions about right now is John Hightower because he did drop some big passes downfield.
J-Jaw.
Several times.
J-Jaw.
Oh, I forgot. He's still on the roster?
Yeah,
okay, so
there.
we got Joe's question in the chat. I'm going to pull it up right now. So Howie. I didn't know you were saying that. So Howie.
I'm not Howie. So Howie, do you think they extend him after the seasons or say we are bad? Do they blame the fact we have Hurts and give Howie more time? No matter what happens this year, whether we go 0-17, remember 17 games. Remember 17 games. So no matter if we go 0-17 or 17-0 plus the Super Bowl, Howie gets an extension. No matter what happens, because you're gonna. Because if the Eagles suck this year, it's going to be Hurts wasn't Sirianni's guy, and Howie's going to be like, I'll get Sirianni his guy. And if you have a great season, Howie's obviously the savior, and he picked Sirianni, and it was his first pick, all that stuff. So I think Howie.
Joe's milking us for what it's worth, and he asked us for another question. What do you think about moving up to pick 6 or 7, which we discussed earlier? They're not going to do 6, even though Liam is rooting for it. 7, we did discuss that it may cost a lot, but one of them
Joe, you're gonna have to rewind tomorrow.
Take Chaser Pitts or Smith. Then moving back up in the first and getting Jeremiah Kamoma.
You know that song? You know that song? Oh my God, what's the song? Bermuda, Bahama. Oh, that's Jeremiah Kamoma.
Would you trade up back into the first round?
I'm assuming it's a linebacker from Notre Dame. Owusu, yeah. So it's
he has a different name, right? He has a longer name. I would trade up and draft him absolutely in a heartbeat.
Yeah. So it's no.
No, you wouldn't trade back in the first round and draft him?
I think JOK is a really good linebacker. I just don't think you trade back in for linebacker. It's just those positions that you don't trade back in for and pay maybe if it's at the end of
somebody that wants defense. You're really against trading up or back in for defense.
Maybe because there's a difference, man. There's a difference.
You're different. That's what the issue is.
That's fine.
This guy convinced me for 3 weeks that we need to go defense, and I'm finally on the side, and he goes the opposite way now. Yeah, I'm talking about you. All right, whatever. No problem, Joe. I think last question, Joe, and we got 2 more questions. Let's see. So Joseph says, "What more proof you need that Howie's bad one Pro Bowler in the last 10 years? Why keep him around?" We don't need any more proof.
Joe, listen. You're gonna have to call Jeffrey on this, not us. We know.
We don't need any more proof. We think Howie should have left a long time ago.
We know he sucks.
All right. So I shine 101. What's up, fellas? We should stay at 12, but only for Chase would I move up, or after picking 12, trade back into the first to hopefully get 2 impact blue chips. Not mean.
That was the last time I said not mean. I'm probably when I was 12, when I lived in the Bronx. But yeah, we agree. Just stay at 12, pick Horn. If not, trade up for Pitts or Chase.
You trade up and draft your team.
Oh, now I'm going to be staying up all night.
You know what my issue is? Okay, so here's my issue. The Horn hype is making me feel too much like the Rager hype last offseason. It was all about, Rager's the guy. Stay put. Rager's the guy. We passed on Justin Jefferson. We got Rager. Yes, it's Doug Peterson's fault that we did not see what Rager can actually do. I personally feel like it's the same situation all over again. You stay put, you draft Horn.
Can you please tell me where on earth was stay put at your pick and pick Rager?
It was all over Eagles Twitter.
It was all over the place. It was draft Rager, trade up for Lamb, trade Jefferson. There was no consensus on Rager. Never.
There was talking about a lot of people hyped up on Rager saying that this is the guy. This is the guy.
Well, people were hyped up on him because they like him, but there wasn't a consensus. Stay there and pick Rager. I think it was really split. It was really split.
It was Rager and Jefferson.
People were seeing like me, were seeing CeeDee Lamb drop real far, and like, you better fucking trade up and get him. You better fucking trade up and get him. And they didn't. They didn't do it. They didn't do it. But
all right,
here we are.
Okay, so
what's next? Come on.
I don't think this is a question, more of a statement. The Eagles should focus on drafting a receiver first round. Everything else should be defense next year, and first round picks focus on the offense, and second through seventh focus on the defense. Is that for next year or for this year?
For this year, I guess.
Okay.
No. I'm maybe it's the coach in me. Maybe it's the teacher and the coach in me that I don't want to give up on someone after 1 year, because so many things can happen to a player, especially in their early 20s when we're talking about
Rager
and the receiver. Period. That where they're still kids. They really are still kids, just out of college. That they're going from one system in college to another one in the NFL that's probably worse than what they did in college, and now they're about to go to another system. I'm not giving up on a guy because, like, that's why I'm kind of like, a part of me is like, maybe J-Jaw can be salvaged.
He possibly could be this year's pick.
Probably not, but it's just like you have a head coach now that has been so great at developing wide receivers and using wide receivers to their strengths, and even tight ends. Sirianni coached Antonio Gates. Sirianni coached Keenan Allen for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And in Indianapolis, he had T.Y. Hilton, he had Michael Pittman, he had running backs that are great. He coached Melvin Ingram. He coached Jonathan Taylor, Marlon Mack. Mm-hmm. He coached really, really great players and played them to their strengths. And so that's why I want to see Sirianni with a really young core of wide receivers that we have now. Maybe add one more guy or two or three in my mock draft. But I'll spoil a little bit. I said 2 running backs in my mock draft, and I said 3 wide receivers in my mock draft. One of them is both.
Okay,
you'll see. But I just think, as you see a guy with such a great developmental history, I'm not ready to give up on these guys. I'm really not. On the flip side, look at the defense. What more development can you get outside of there's no one there to develop. There really isn't.
Derek Barnett seems to be a stalemate.
In the secondary, you have Avonte Maddox, who we know is better at safety than he is at nickel. You have
nobody developed at all.
You have
practice squad guys.
Yeah, you have LeBlanc, who's a free agent still.
You guys see more. You have Riley. You have practice squad guys.
So you need depth. You need it.
All right. So.
All right, you got to click on Joe's. Yes, we agree. Okay, next.
Steve Dreyer.
Joe, we love you, man. We love you, man.
Steve Dreyer. He actually shut you up, and that has never happened on this podcast. I've never seen that before in my life. So what do you think will happen within the organization for Lurie and Howie to take accountability for the problems within the franchise? Seems every season there's a safety net for them to pass. Nothing's gonna have to happen. I mean, these guys are seeing the worst of the worst right now, and there's no accountability whatsoever. He deflected everything on Doug and saying that there was a difference in, which direction they wanted to go in, and they traded a franchise quarterback at the end of the day. Like, they don't know what direction they're going in.
As much as we want to be really down on both Lurie and Roseman right now, Lurie,
as much as we should be down on Lurie and Roseman right now, is what
Okay,
we mean to
listen.
say.
Okay,
I'm
Lurie's
listening.
been through how many head coaches? You got Ray Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
You got Andy.
Andy,
You
Chip.
got Chip, and you got now Doug, and now he's on 5. That's only 2 more. That's only 2 more than the entire Steelers organization since like 1969.
But let's clarify. He let go of Andy just because they had a
Let
losing
me
season.
fucking finish.
I'm just saying.
For the most part, Jeffrey Lurie's been able to hit on head coaches outside of Ray Rhodes. Andy Reid.
Most part?
Let me fucking talk. Andy Reid obviously had many years of success. 1 Super Bowl appearance, a cheated out loss. You know, that is what it is. He was great for us. He immediately pivots to Chip Kelly, who had 2 straight winning seasons, and then he flamed out. People want to argue that those were really Andy Reid's guys, and he traded away Andy Reid's guys, and whatever the case is, he still had 2 really good seasons. Doug Peterson comes in, Super Bowl winner, Super Bowl champion. So, like, now you have Nick Sirianni. So you have a history of really successful coaches under Jeffrey Lurie and Roseman. As much as you want, like, harp on the players that he's drafted, the success that has come since Howie Roseman has become a GM has been his free agent signings. For the most part, he's been a really good, outside maybe the last couple of years, he's been a really good, and I hate giving credit to
But you
Howie
just
Roseman.
said this outside the last couple of years. There's one good year of having really good free agent signings was 2016 to 2017. That was it.
It's I know, but like that made him a Super Bowl winner, so that holds a lot of clout for a long time.
He called lightning in a bottle with the chemistry that he brought on. That's all it was. I wouldn't give him full credit to that.
I just think when you have an owner who has been so successful, the head coaches that he's had, and a GM who built a quote unquote Super Bowl winning roster, even though the coach coached the Super Bowl winning roster, I just think that lasts a long time. Honestly,
but is success not defined by championships?
It is, but I think a GM is different than a coach, in where a coach's play style can turn into it doesn't work anymore. Whereas a GM can be like, okay, I'll just pick different players next year to fit in what works now. So if Howie can really buy into, and he probably won't, can really buy into. If he can buy into that, I can get you players that fit what you're doing. He's going to be there for a long time. Doug's play style calling was bad last year. It was so terrible, fucking bad that even you can't even blame the players he had. Like, we get it. You have bad players or players that don't fit your scheme. Call plays that fit the fucking scheme, or call your plays, but call it for players who fit whatever you're calling. Like, don't call a screen for Greg Ward. Don't do that.
I have a serious question.
And here's a little tidbit.
Okay.
Many weeks ago, last month sometime, I saw David Akers, former Eagles great kicker, comment on something after Cam Johnston was cut, I think, or non-tendered.
Mm-hmm.
David Akers said something about, like, it's about time that Dave Phipp wasn't using those guys to what they were doing. So you had coaches who weren't using the play. He had Greg Ward at punt returns. So, like, I don't know.
Would you keep Greg Ward on this roster going forward?
No.
Okay. I thought I was the only one, so I just want to make sure that I'm not
crazy. That's also part of my mock draft. I made such a fun mock draft.
Did you draft Greg Ward again in the 7th round?
No, you see.
I hate you. Don't tell me you drafted a quarterback and turned on wide receiver.
No, but Greg Ward is in my 7th round page. You'll see.
All right, so Joe has we'll take this last question. Brian, we have to go hard this draft. I say corner, move back, get Chalk. Oh, JOK. Okay. Yeah. Then corner, then safety, then receiver. We haven't had 2 corners in years. Your thoughts? Chris actually came up with this analogy 2 weeks ago when we had our live mock draft of drafting two corners in this draft back to back. Actually, he said first round and second round, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It took me a while to actually embrace the thought, and I'm 1,000%. If you draft J.C. Horn or Surtain in the first round, and you go with a Asante Samuel or even Eric Stokes in the second, the wide receiver class is pretty deep. You could trade back in the second or trade back in the first and get a wide receiver.
Yeah. It's just another day of me being right. It's just another day that ends in
a
Y.
while for you to be right.
It's just another day that ends in Y. That's all.
And I do wish that they would let Greg Ward go because that's. Question: is Khalil Tate a quarterback or is he a wide receiver? Because he's wearing number 6. Okay.
I mean, wide receivers can.
Yes, but this was before that was passed.
I know, but maybe they knew it was going to pass. Maybe I don't know.
I guess so. But we are at the hour mark. How you feeling? Next week we do have our double pod, like we announced in the beginning. So just in case you guys did miss that, we'll be hosting 2 live pods next week. We'll be having one on Tuesday, which is our regular time, and we'll be joined by Liam Jenkins to go over who in the PSN Eagles team won our mock draft competition, which is decided by you guys, the fans. Make sure you guys do go vote on phillysportsnetwork.com. The second podcast will be Thursday night to cover the first round of the NFL draft with Chris, myself, and Liam again. So you guys get a double dose of not only Flippin the Birds, but a double dose of Liam talking Eagles. And probably some madness from Chris.
I was lucky enough to be a part of a 32-person mock draft. One person per team. Okay, before we go, just click on it.
Hey, shout out to Alex who joined us.
There we go.
Which chat am I missing?
Eagles
you covered
the one before that. The one before that. That one.
Right, Eagles either move up, take pits. I feel like like a stripper. You donating this money, Joe? I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, just make sure they're singles, man. Just make sure they're singles. Put it in my pants, man.
But I'm just saying, it does feel like that a little bit. Like I see the green paragraph.
I'm pulling it apart right now. Just put it.
Eagles either move up, take Pitts, Smith, Chase, or double dip, take Horn. And I wish they could double dip and take Horn and Surtain, but take Horn or Surtain, and then move back into the first and take Newsome or Stokes. Newsome, where do you have him?
I don't see any scenario where they can move up and then move back into the first round. There's no way they move up into the top 10 and then move back into the first round to draft corner. There's no way. I don't think. And
Joe, we do appreciate you donating to the cause.
Joe, we're making jokes. We love it.
We're making good posts.
Thank you, Joe. We appreciate it. We really do.
But so yeah,
Joe, listen, Joe. You just paid for my daughter's dinner tomorrow. Like, she's not going to have to starve anymore. Listen, I'd rather talk to you all night if you're going to be doing this than work for Liam. Because Liam, he likes to hold out his money on me. Liam likes to see my daughter starve. That's it.
Yo, you're so out of pocket. What time? Why am I clicking this? All right, guys.
Saying the truth.
I mean, you want to wrap it up or?
Yeah, I'm tired. It's almost 10 o'clock.
All right, cool. So, you didn't say where you have Newsome and Stokes.
I have Newsome I have Newsome way over Stokes. Way over.
Yeah, but Newsome is definitely probably top 20s.
Newsome has been mocked a lot to the Colts at 21, and Stokes is in the 30s and 40s.
Yeah, I see Stokes in the second round.
Yeah.
I really
like Newsome. I really like him, but I don't think we're.
Maybe the Eagles take offense at 12, trade back in the first, and you get Newsome.
No,
I can't stand you tonight.
Hey, kid, I'm just gonna brag for a minute.
Brag about what?
So I'm a head coach of 2 different teams. I'm a head coach of a freshman basketball team, and I'm a head coach of a varsity track team.
Okay. And
I went 10-0 as a freshman basketball coach, and my track meet yesterday we won. So I'm 11-0 as a coach this year. I know what I'm talking about, guys. Listen, I know how to motivate.
You don't motivate me, so I don't know. Did they even motivate me?
Did I not motivate and convince you for defense?
All right, hey, I'm wrapping up the podcast now. You're pissing me off now. No, Stokes, I think second round, Joe. But yes, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure, do not forget, vote on the mock drafts that we are putting out for the next 4 or 5 days.
Sure, Joe.
Right.
Okay, Joe. Last thing, Joe.
Your skin. Yo, you have successfully entered Chris's epidermal.
Joe, add me on Twitter because I want to add you back, and we're gonna go at it. I do think they're gonna trade back in the first round. I do, but that's only if they stay at 12. If they move up into the top 10, they are not moving up in the first round again.
Yes.
They're not doing that. They're not. They're gonna have the amount of draft capital they're gonna have to use to go up into the first round in the top 10. That's not gonna happen. It's not.
By the way, for those who are listening to the replay, Joe just told Chris that they are definitely trading back into the first round. That Chris better watch. And Joe doesn't have Twitter, so we're gonna call him Twitterless Joe from now on.
Well, you know, your tweet, yeah. Vega. Joe, tell us right now, what Vega is that? Is that a Puerto Rican Vega or is that a Dominican Vega?
No. Now I'm curious.
It's definitely.
What if it's not Spanish at all?
Vega's Hispanic. There's no way Vega.
They're moving up from 12 and then back again. Watch Howie's
going
hard. Maybe this is Howie's burner. No?
Joe, if they trade up twice, I will send you a headshot of me and sign it.
Joe, what's your nationality? We got to know before we end the podcast. We're an hour and 11 right now.
I knew it. He talks too much for not to be Puerto Rican.
We're Puerto Rican, by the way, Joe. Just don't take offense.
I knew it. You talk too damn much to not be Puerto Rican.
It's like you.
Exactly. And just like you. See, you're fucking Puerto Ricans.
Anyways, guys, do not forget, double pod next week, Tuesday, Thursday. We cover the first round of the draft. Tuesday, we reveal the winners of the mock draft. I'm Brian Cameron. He's Chris Infante. And we're flipping the birds.
Go Birds.
Yes, sir.